Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Welcome in our lesson 1.2 in our professional planning engineer PPE. This lesson is very important yet very simple. We just need to read our project contract and extract some important information from it. You could ask yourself why we are reading the contract. We are not a contract administrators, or we are not a legal part of the construction company, but it is important to understand what your contract says, because the contract is a very important document and it has valuable information for the planning engineers. In this lesson, we'll start reading our project contract to get all the important information from our contract and record it. We want to create a very simple document that includes the relevant information from our contract. So we will start reading our project contract, and simply we will create a project reading contract document. We will record the important information here, and we will find what are the contract documents. So the important information you need to know in the construction contract. What is the construction contract? What are the contract types? Contract documents priorities, this is very important, and the important information to read from contract. As you know, that contract is defined as an agreement made between two or more parties, which is enforceable by law to provide something in return for something else from a second party. So the contract is used to legally define what is required from one party and what is the return or the amount should be paid for the second party. We are not going deeply in these definitions, but we need you to understand what are contract documents. Contract documents usually contains agreement for, special conditions, and general conditions. However, there are some other documents that could vary from one contract to another. That includes the bill of quantity, the drawings, the specs, and so on. So the agreement for this document contains the following information. We need to extract from the agreement for project name, owner, contract value, contract type, consultant, project scope, high level scope. The particular condition, this document describes all the special conditions for this project only, described in detail the liabilities, obligation, responsibilities for each party in the project. And actually this document is very important because it supersedes all the other documents. In the document's power, the particular condition of the contract are the most power. The general condition, this is a general condition of contract, and usually it is a huge volume of the contract in big construction projects, and these sometimes refer to some contract forms like FEDEC or other forms of contracts. You need to know your contract general conditions referencing to which contract form, or if it is a FEDEC, you need to know some information about FEDEC. For this training purposes, we are not going deeply in the contract, but we just want to highlight for you some important information. The contract documents priorities. This you need to understand what are the different the documents priorities. The reason we need to know this, because in case of any differences or discrepancies between contract documents, which is the order of document power. For example, the usual or the normal power of the documents could be the following. However, you need to check your contract in the real life. What are the power of your documents? The contract agreement usually is the first priority, high priority, number one. Then the particular conditions of the contract, the general condition of the contract, drawings, specifications, and bill of quantity. These are the 6 common documents in any contract, and this is you can say the common practice power. But you need, as I said before, to check if your contract is telling the same or you have some other sequence of work. You might ask yourself, why I am, as a planning engineer, should look to this before starting my planning? My answer to you is, you as a planning engineer have access to all the project information, and you should advise your project team with, in some cases, with the correct decisions. For example, if there are discrepancies between the drawings and the bill of quantities, and the consultant delayed the reply of these drawings or rejected it because this discrepancies, the technical office manager could go with the route of the consultant, but you as a planning engineer can advise, no, this is not correct. According to the contract, the power of the drawings or the power of the BOQ is different, so you can give advice according to the power. Also, when you have a good understanding of your contract document priorities, you can give answers to your client or your consultant when they are reviewing your maybe time schedule. You can refer to some drawings or refer to bill of quantities, and of course we need to know what are dates, milestones are in the contract, what are the period that the consultant should reply our submittals. So this is we should consider in our planning. So let's go on our case study and see what are the contract documents we have prepared for you. We have prepared for you 3 documents, main documents. First one is the contract agreement. This is a contract agreement for our case study project. We have put some important information within these drawings. And for example, here, this is the contract documents for any traditional contract. What are the contents? Here is starting to find some important information like the completion date of the project. We have here some milestones, some contractual milestones. You have here 3 contractual milestones. You might have here some warranties articles or some other articles that not very important, but you need to fast reading what is existing in the contract agreement. You need to read the whole contract agreement. Usually it is not very long. It is about 4, 5, 6 pages. It's nothing very long, you can see. We have the project value, we have the governing law, and here the 2 parties who signed the contract. So this is the first contract document we have prepared. You are welcome to download it, take a look, and just read, starting knowing what is your project. Second document is the particular condition of contract. As we said, this important document for us as a planning engineers, we need to read it all also, because it has clauses for the work schedule, it has clauses for other important durations, like here we have the milestones, we have the language of the contract. This will affect our language of programming as well, for our activity names and so on. So you need to understand how you are going to perform your project. Also, we advise you to take a look about this document. It has some important information, and before downloading our output document, which including the important information, try to do the exercise yourself. Try to find what could be important in this document for you as a planning engineer. And the last document, it's only the general condition, and we refer for the FIDIC as our general condition of contract. What is important here, that after you reading or fast reading, we can call it fast reading of this document, you should prepare a document. We call it read project contract or project contract information. These are the important information we have found so far in our contract documents. For example, here we have a very specific duration for engineering submittal duration. We are going to use this duration in our planning. We will allow 15 days between submittals and approvals for engineering, like shop drawings and materials. We have here some two important dates. The site power source will be provided by the employer in these dates, and electricity generator will be provided by the employer in this date. So both dates are important. We have here 3 contractual milestones. This is also very important. And of course, we have here the project completion date. This task is important to do while you are starting your planning, just to highlight the important information you need to refer from your contract. I wish this lesson was not complicated for you. It should be a very simple lesson. We just need to gather some information about our contract. Thank you for watching this lesson, and see you in the next one.